HealthWish is a series of conversations about the state of healthcare in New York City's fabulous fifth borough, Staten Island. Our goal is to raise issues, raise awareness, and raise health, because when we raise health, we raise everyone. Bridging the gap between Manhattan and Staten Island, philanthropist and business owner Jim Halpin is preserving his brother's legacy with the naming of the new Brian Halpin Pediatric Cancer Center. Compassionate cancer care is now closer to home for all Staten Islanders. Give it a listen.
You know, you talk a lot about family, that your family legacy also gets intertwined with the Florina Cancer Center. When you first told me that you wanted to put your family name on the Pediatric Cancer Center and to specifically have it be the Brian Halpin Pediatric Cancer Center, I was blown away. So I think this is a great opportunity. First and foremost, tell us about Brian.
Yeah, my brother Brian passed away February 22nd, 2011, about 12 and a half years ago. Not a day goes by that I don't think of him or talk to him, and through prayer, obviously. Yeah, he was 34 years old, but one of the things, for me that always stood out is his love of children. And, my kids were very small at the time. They were 3 and 1 when he passed. He loved being in their company. He was really just a big kid. So anytime, he was around kids, that's when you saw the most joy on his face. So, the initial thing that occurred when he passed was, again, a friend of mine coming to me saying, I want to do a mass at St. Angelo Merici in the Bronx in honor of your brother. Will you come? And it was fresh. I mean, we were maybe a month into grieving. I woke up every day crying. And I said, you know what, let me go see how this feels. And we went there. My mom and dad loved how it felt. Seeing them, I don't want to use the word peace because you're never at peace when you lose a child, but seeing the way that they appreciated helping other kids, I was able to take that and turn that into something larger. And then with St. Angelo Merici closing last year, a little bit of a void in my heart, if you will. So the timing of this for me was perfect. This would be able to further that legacy, for me and my family.
Whenever I think about you and I think about your philanthropy, what always comes first in my eyes is kids is really about Brian and his legacy and how you've kind of taken on that legacy of how much he loved children. And tell me about the STEM laboratory.
St. Angelo Merici and the STEM lab that you're referring to, this was just one of the things we did over there. So that void for me is really being filled with the new Pediatric Cancer Center that, my brother, what he would want to do to help children now will be in this form. But if you ask me personally from a community standpoint, it's diversity. You want to make a point though. You think about me, you think about kids and the NYPD and that stuff. I promise you there's a whole other group of people that would say, no, do you know what he's done with the Chinese American community? Do you know what he's done with the Jewish American community? I am the vice chairman of the National Italian American Foundation for the past 19 years.
I love it.
So the Albanian community, I mean,
sure.
I think I'm an honorary member at this point.
You are.
Like, diversity to me is equally as important for me. And that's where New York is the greatest city in the world. It's very easy. And I'm not just talking about Manhattan, I'm talking about Staten Island as well. Our diversity is what makes us stronger than everybody else. Where how can, a German-Irish kid from the Bronx be with an Albanian from Jersey and Staten Island? Like, how are we so close? It's because we don't see each other's differences, we see each other's commonalities. And our passion for helping people, our passion for speaking up and looking to situations and not turning our back to situations, that's what unites us. And, you giving me this opportunity to continue this from my brother is amazing. I have to also add 2 other very special organizations, the Markowitz family and their family foundation. They're incredible. And then Kids for Kids. Just being aware of your community surroundings, I think, is a big message that me and my friends, we're constantly talking about.
Yeah. Listen, it's we all have things that mean something to us, and we have to be cognizant of the surroundings and the people that are around us. At the end of the day, anything that we can do to try to help the people around us and help our community is an important thing. What are you looking to leave for your children?
I think from a giving back perspective, I've tried to ingrain that, in the older kids. And we started a junior committee for the Kids for Kids St. Jude's event. I didn't get the charity bug until I got into business. My dad convinced me right away. He goes, listen, get involved in these things. So I have to give him the credit that it kind of started there. And then obviously the way I felt after that with my kids, and what I hope that they try to do is that they take this on at an earlier stage, and hopefully will incorporate it into their daily lives, and not just the business fashion, which in the business fashion I get to meet the best people. So I get the question all the time, why do you do this stuff? I'm like, do you realize I get to be around the best people? All the best people are really the ones that understand their community and give back to causes. So for them, I want them to see that. So I bring them around to a lot of things. I'm hoping they take a more active participation in Staten Island University Hospital now that we have the Pediatric Cancer Center. I think that their name being on it, and their uncle that they really didn't get to know, I think that the feeling that they should have in knowing that, the amount of children that are going to be helped through this. And again, it's amazing that you guys had this concept to do this when you have leading cancer facilities on, the island of Manhattan. Why did you do it over there? And it's very simple. Who wants to commute with a sick kid to Manhattan all the time? And that's, it's very simple. It's really just acknowledging, this is our community and this is how we can better serve it. So, the leadership that you and the hospital have taken in putting this in place, and the opportunity that I have to help push it forward. And legacy means a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm really more about the here and now. I'd rather see how can we take this and make this the best pediatric cancer center in the city. And it's got to start somewhere. And a lot of the accomplishments that we've had to Farina and breast cancer, and now the cancer center, you have to start somewhere. But I love the momentum we have, and I feel real optimistic about the future under your leadership. So keep it up.
Thank you. That means a lot, and I think there's so many amazing things that we can do. And the one thing that I will just say, your children will surprise you. And the amount that they care about their fellow man and how much they care about the people around them, I'm no longer amazed when I get the phone calls that, a child heard about something we're doing in the hospital, and all of a sudden a classroom raised $4,000. Classroom of 8-year-olds, right?
Yeah. Because how proud of you would you be that your kid is bringing that home to you?
You'd be surprised. And the one thing I will say to all parents, especially the ones that are watching this, that are philanthropic, that would love to support in any small way, your kids will surprise you.
Well, I agree. And it's best when it's organic. So it's 100%. Best when they're in the environment and they're able to see it. So for me, I was so fortunate that I was, the real estate industry in New York is so generous, from the owners to the contractors, subcontractors. I mean, it is really easy to put together something in no time because our community is just so supportive of people. While in the beginning, maybe for me, it was just to get involved and be with other people. I didn't necessarily understand the give back model the way I do now. Now it's kind of crazy. I mean, I'll get a phone call and I'm like, I already said yes. And they're like, what are you talking about? I even ask you I said, you're putting together something, aren't you? But a friend recently said he wanted to put something together for the Navy SEALs. So the answer is yes. I said, any of these charities that are helping our veterans.
I think taking care of our veterans and taking care of the people that put their lives at risk for us is one of the most important things that we can do. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for being such a wonderful philanthropist and one of the best connectors I've ever met. The people who can connect the dots and get people excited about something and speak to a topic, and the number of people that you've brought with you that have actually helped us just by this connection has been amazing. So thank you for that. All the foundations you brought on, you mentioned the Markowitz family, you mentioned Kids for Kids, and there are so many others on a smaller scale that we've done something together. And to, of course, to the Russis that brought us all together in the first place. I do want to thank you for everything that you do, and I look forward to this long-term partnership.
It's amazing working with you and your team. We have great momentum in Staten Island, so we really need to keep that up.
Thanks, Staten Island. Thanks for being here today, and thanks for watching this episode. Raising money for our community, whether it's for us or whether it's for somebody else, is one of the things that I'm most passionate about. I think what we do is one of the most incredibly important things that you can actually do. I tell people all the time, and forgive me for saying this, but we're the most important building on Staten Island. Why? Because that's where you go when you're sick. But at the end of the day, it's important that we all remember how incredibly important philanthropy is, and I want to thank you for watching.
HealthWish wishes to thank our special guest, Jim Halpin. For more information on the Brian Halpin Pediatric Cancer Center and ways to give back, please click the link in the video description. We're very interested in your health wish. Contact us at healthwish@northwell.edu. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again soon.